Good afternoon, all of you, my dear boys. So, in our yesterday's class, we completed general physical and chemical properties of alkaline earth metals. Now, today's my target is to explain some of the compounds, general compounds of this alkaline earth metals, that is group 2 elements. General compounds. What are those? Hydrides, oxides, sulfides, nitrates, next to halides, like this. I want to explain one by one, carbides, everything in. Okay. So now our target is to explain the compounds of alkaline earth metals. So see here. So now our target, compounds of group 2 elements, boys. So in that, the first one is hydrides. See here how to find out. What are these hydrides? Our element. What is that? Alkaline earth metal. Element has +2 oxidation state. Hydrogen has -1 oxidation state. The general formula for this hydrides is MH2 type hydrides. The general formula for hydrides of second year group elements is MH2 type hydrides. Okay. Now, what are these preparations, properties? So let us discuss one by one. That is, except beryllium and magnesium, remaining hydrides are prepared by direct combination of our element with hydrogen. Direct reaction of element with hydrogen. So that gives that is element with hydrogen. So it is except beryllium. Except beryllium and magnesium. So remaining elements, that is beryllium, after beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and calcium, strontium, barium. Here M is calcium, strontium, barium. This M is calcium, strontium, barium. So these are the properties, boys. So this is, but sir, how to prepare the beryllium and magnesium hydrides? So beryllium and magnesium hydrides are prepared when these compounds reacts with a lithium aluminum hydride. Lithium aluminum hydride. See here. So when beryllium chloride BeCl2 reacts with lithium aluminum hydride, that gives beryllium hydride, lithium chloride, and aluminum chloride are the products. So it is the way to prepare beryllium hydrides, boys. Direct combination is not possible. Direct reaction of hydrogen with beryllium is not possible. Already we completed there. Next, magnesium chloride. Similarly, magnesium chloride reacts with lithium aluminum hydride. That gives magnesium hydride plus lithium chloride and aluminum chloride. Boys, I am using here unbalanced equations. Please balance it. Please balance it. So this is the preparation of our hydrides, boys. This is the preparation of our hydrides. Okay. Now, what are the properties? So when these hydrides, when the molten salts are fused salts, so these hydrides are electrolyzed, that is, that means MH2, it is fused, boys. So it is electrolyzed, that is current passed, that is metal is obtained at cathode and hydrogen gas is available at anode. So that means it indicates hydrogen as a minus, negative ion in these hydrides, boys. In these hydrides. So that's why hydrogen is evaluated at anode. Hydrogen in this electrolysis, hydrogen is evaluated at anode. Okay. Next. See, boys. That is beryllium hydrides and magnesium hydrides. These two are polymeric in nature. Polymeric hydrides, boys. Already at the time of reaction with hydrogen, we covered, boys. So beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride are polymeric hydrides. So at the time of hydrides in our hydrogen and its compounds, so these two are considered in polymeric hydrides. Next, other hydrides, that is magnesium, calcium hydrides, strontium hydrides, and barium hydrides. These are ionic in nature. Calcium hydride, strontium hydride, and barium hydride, ionic in nature. That is saline hydrides, salt-like hydrides. These are the conditions. But beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride are polymeric in nature. So we will draw the structures of those hydrides. Let us wait. Next point. So that is ionic nature from top to bottom increases, boys. Ionic nature of these hydrides from top to bottom increases. See here, when calcium hydrides, which is commonly called as hydrolate, it is the common name for this calcium hydride, boys, hydrolate. This hydrolate, when dissolved in water, that gives calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. Calcium hydride and hydrogen gas is dissolved. That means when these hydrides are dissolved in water, liberates hydrogen gas. Particularly this hydrolate, boys, calcium hydrides, particularly this one. So it is used as strong, it is a strong reducing agent also. This hydrolate is used for the transportation of hydrogen. So that is for the supply of hydrogen, because hydrogen is highly inflammable, boys, easy to combust. That is why transportation is difficult. That is why first of all hydrogen reacts with calcium. So that means all the available hydrogen is converted into the form of hydrolate and transported. Whenever you want hydrogen, that is dissolved in water and liberates hydrogen. So that is the way hydrogen is supplied. So therefore, for the supply of hydrogen or for the transportation of hydrogen, this calcium hydride is required. So is used. That is called as hydrolate, which is called as hydrolate. So for the transportation of hydrolate, HYDROLITH. That is hydrolate. No loss. That is why we are using this one. No loss of hydrogen. Okay. So that is hydrolate, boys. Next, already we covered, that is beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride are polymeric covalent polymeric hydrides. Now what are the structures of those covalent polymeric hydrides? See here. So beryllium hydride, it has covalent polymeric structure. See here, how is that? So beryllium with two hydrogens, like this, beryllium hydride, boys. So these hydrogens are in bridge condition. Like this, the process is going on. Okay. So here, beryllium, hydrogen, beryllium. This bond is nothing but banana bond, boys. This is nothing but a banana bond, which is also called as 3-centered 2-electron bond. This is also called as a 3-centered 2-electron bond. All these hydrogens, all the available hydrogens are bridge hydrogens. Next, all these are not in same plane. All atoms are not in same plane. That is non-planar, boys. It has a non-planar structure. It has a non-planar structure. It is a structure of beryllium hydride. So similarly, magnesium hydride also there. So just replacing that beryllium with magnesium. Both beryllium hydride and magnesium hydrides are polymeric in nature. Both beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride. So similarly, magnesium hydride also similar to this one. Both beryllium hydride and magnesium hydrides are polymeric in nature. So what is the structure of magnesium hydride? So just replacing this beryllium with magnesium. I am replacing this beryllium with magnesium. So this is the structure of magnesium hydride, boys. It is the structure of magnesium hydride. Here also banana bond and 3-centered 2-electron bond, which is also called as electron deficient bonds. Electron deficient bonds, which is also considered as electron deficient bond. So that's why. So it is the concept of hydrides, boys. It is the concept of hydrides. Just its preparation, some of its properties. These properties are very, very important. Next one, next compound after hydrides, that is carbides ending. Second compound, carbides. What is carbides? Our metal with carbon. Metal with carbon compounds are called as carbides. Here different types of carbides are possible. See here. So beryllium, beryllium can form Be2Cl. Beryllium can form Be2C type carbides. Others can form MC2 type carbides. Others can form MC2 type carbides. So if beryllium carbides, that is 2Be plus 2 plus C minus 4. It is C minus 4, boys. So here in beryllium carbide, carbon is in minus 4 oxygen stated. Next here, if it is dissolved, if it is breakdown, that is M plus 2 and C2 minus 2 exists. C2 minus 2. If this is dissolved in water, that gives methane gas. If that is dissolved in water, that gives methane gas. If this is dissolved in water, that gives C2H2. It is methane. It is acetylene. So that is why this carbide is called as acetylide. That is why that carbide is called as acetylide, because it gives methane. That's why it is called as methanite. So that is beryllium carbide is called as methanite, and other carbides are called as acetylides, and other carbons are called as acetylides. That is acetylides. So other carbides are called as acetylides. Now how to prepare these hydrides? How to prepare these hydrides? So see here. So preparation methods. When metal oxide on strong heating with carbon, when metal oxide on strong heating with carbon, that gives respect to metal carbides are the products. Respect to metal carbides are products. So carbides are formed. Metal carbides are formed. So beryllium carbide is called as methanite. Other carbides are called as acetylides, because acetylene gas is coming out. Because acetylene gas is coming out. See here. So in acetylide, what type of bond? That is a C triple bond C with minus. It is acetylide, boys. It is acetylide. Okay. Therefore, so let us take CaC2. CaC2. Calcium carbide on hydrolysis gives calcium hydroxide and C triple bond C, H and H. So it is called as acetylene, boys. It is called as acetylene. So it is used in oxyacetylene torch. This is used in oxyacetylene torch. Very, very important. That is in particularly in gas welding end. The torch is used in gas welding. Gas welding. So gas welding in our market generally takes place. That is, acetylene gas is frequently used. That acetylene gas is prepared like this. So that is why acetylene is coming out. These carbides are called as acetylides. So now beryllium carbide, Be2C. When dissolved in water, that gives beryllium hydroxide and methane gas is coming out. Therefore, it is called as bethanite. It is called as acetylite. It is called as acetylite. Now, see here. So, other conditions. See here, that is when magnesium carbide, MgC2, on strong heating gives Mg2C3. On strong heating gives Mg2C3. It is magnesium carbide, another type of carbide, boys. If that magnesium carbide is on hydrolysis, that gives magnesium hydroxide plus CH3, C triple bond CH, CH3, C triple bond CH, which is called as propyne. So that is why this carbide, boys, this is 2Mg plus 2 plus C3 minus 4. This is called as propionite. Propane is the form product. That is why this carbide is called as propanite. That carbide is called as propanite. So therefore, this is Mg2C3 is commonly called as propanite. So that is, it is methanite, it is acetylite. This is a propanite, boys. Propanite, because propane is the product. Very, very, very important in it. So when calcium, so see here, Be2C, that gives, Be2C gives methane, CaC2 gives acetylene, Mg2C3 gives, so that is CH3, C triple bond CHNE, which is nothing but C3H4, which is called as propyne. So please keep in mind, these are the, after hydrolysis, these are the products, guys. After hydrolysis, these are the products. After hydrolysis, these are the products. Okay. So no need of preparation. These are the properties are very, very important. Properties are very, very important. So this is the carbides. Let us observe some more properties of this carbide cell. Boys, this is also called as allyl. Allyl means, so this hydrogen, this carbon, C triple bond C H. This carbon is called as allylic carbon. That type of compound is formed. That's why it is called as allylite. Propanite, which is also called as allylite. That is also another name. Next, most important property, boys, that is when calcium carbide reacts with nitrogen. When calcium carbide reacts with nitrogen, that gives CaNCN, which is also we will write as CaCN2. Please keep in mind, only two nitrogens, only one carbon. So CaNCN or CaCN2, which is called as calcium cyanamide, which is called as calcium cyanamide. Along with this, carbon graphite form is coming out. Carbon graphite. So when calcium carbide on reaction with nitrogen gives a calcium cyanamide and graphite. This mixture is called as nitrolim. This mixture is called as nitrolim. What is nitrolim? A mixture of calcium cyanamide and graphite. A mixture of calcium cyanamide and graphite is called as nitrolim. What is the importance of this one, sir? So this calcium cyanamide, so that is, so this calcium cyanamide is used to prepare ammonia. Is used to prepare ammonia. So that is used to prepare ammonia, boys. It is very, very important. So now barium carbide, BaC2. It is calcium carbide. This is barium carbide. It is on reaction with nitrogen that gives BaCN twice. BaCN twice, which is called as barium cyanide. It is a cyanide, it is a cyanamide. Please keep in mind. So it is a cyanide, that is a cyanamide. Very, very, very important. That is very, very important. So calcium cyanamide and cyanamide. So when it is reacts with CaCN2 is the product. Here CaCN twice is the product. CaCN twice is the product. It is very, very, very important. Okay. So calcium carbide gives CaCN2. Barium carbide gives a cyanide component. Barium carbide gives a cyanide component. So this is the importance of carbides. This is the importance of carbides. Now, next compounds. Next compounds. That is nitrites. Nitrites. What is this nitrite? Our metal is +2, nitrogen is -3. That gives M3N2 type compounds of the production. M2N3. This is the nitrites general formula, boys. It is the nitrites general formula. Now, how these are prepared? The preparation, that is, so that is the preparation, boys. When metal reacts with nitrogen, that gives respect to nitrites of the production. When metal reacts with nitrogen directly, that gives respect to nitride. That gives respect to nitride. That is metal nitrides. Metal nitrides. Now, other way of preparation. Other way of preparation. That is when barium amide. It is barium amide. When barium amide reacts with nitrogen, that gives barium nitrite plus ammonia gas is evaporated. Ammonia gas. It is a way to prepare barium nitrite. So barium nitrite. Okay. So very, very important, boys. Next, when magnesium hydride reacts with nitrogen, when magnesium hydride reacts with nitrogen, that gives magnesium nitrite and also ammonia gas is evaporated. And also ammonia gas is evolved. So this is the preparation methods of, it is general preparation. These are the specific preparation methods of barium and magnesium hydrides. Okay. Next, properties and properties of these compounds. So when these nitrites, that is magnesium nitrite, when this nitride on hydrolysis gives respect to magnesium hydroxide and ammonia gas is evolved, boys. So ammonia gas is evolved. Very, very, very important. So any nitrites, any nitride of second group elements on hydrolysis gives ammonia gas is evolution. Ammonia gas is evolved. Similarly, when magnesium nitrite reacts with hydrogen, when magnesium nitride reacts with hydrogen, that once again gives magnesium hydride and also liberates ammonia. And also liberates ammonia. So this is another preparation methods. Next, properties. Next, magnesium nitride when reacts with carbon monoxide, that gives magnesium oxide plus carbon plus nitrogen are the products, boys. Carbon and nitrogen. So magnesium nitride converts into magnesium oxide and liberates nitrogen gas. For example, if it reacts with carbon dioxide, same and magnesium oxide and carbon monoxide and nitrogen is the product. Carbon monoxide and nitrogen is the product. So this is the some of the properties of magnesium nitrides and some nitrides. So this is important, boys. So this is important, very, very. When barium amide gives magnesium nitride, that is barium nitride. So any nitride on hydrolysis gives ammonia gas. Any nitride on hydrolysis gives ammonia gas. So this is about nitrides, boys. This is about nitrides. Okay. Next one. Next class of compounds, that is oxides and oxides. That is the fourth one. Oxides. General formula: metal is in +2 oxidation state, oxygen is in -2 oxidation state. MO is the oxide of second year group elements. General formula is metal oxide. That is MO is the oxide. MO is the general formula, boys. Okay. So except beryllium oxide, except beryllium oxide, other oxides are prepared like this. What is that? Is like this. What is that? So metal carbonate on strong heating gives metal oxide with evolution of CO2 gas. So metal oxide, except beryllium oxide, remaining oxides are all possible. So BeO is not possible, guys. So next, when beryllium oxide, how to prepare that beryllium oxide? Beryllium is in strong heating end, which is on ignition end. Ignition. That is a burning, boys. So when beryllium metal is burned in excess of oxygen, that gives beryllium oxide is the product. Beryllium oxide is the product. So this is the way to prepare these oxides, boys. So other oxides like this, but beryllium oxide is like this. Beryllium oxide is like this. See here, what are the nature of these oxides? All these oxides are ionic in nature and solid compounds. All these oxides are ionic in nature and solids. Ionic solids, boys. Solids have different structures. And see here, beryllium oxide. This beryllium oxide has ursite structure. Ursite-like structure. So others are different structures, boys. All those are solid ionic structures. Whenever solid ionic crystal is formed, so automatically, so coordination number should be there. So what is the coordination number of these metal ions, metal and oxygen, others? So see here, this is the oxide and their coordination number. Beryllium oxide, their coordination number is 4, boys. Beryllium oxide has coordination number 4. Other oxides have 6 N. So magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, strontium oxide, and barium oxides. For all these, coordination number is 6. So only beryllium oxide has 4. Other oxides have coordination number 6. So because of more size of those central ions, those metal ions size increases, coordination number also increases. So generally we expect for barium 8, but here only we observe 6 is the oxidation coordination number, boys. 6 is the coordination number. Next one, beryllium oxide and magnesium oxides are insoluble in water. So insoluble in water, but others are soluble. Others are soluble. Solubility of these oxides increases down the group. Solubility of these oxides increases down the group. Very, very, very important. So next. So see here, when these oxides are dissolved in water, that gives respect to hydroxides. It is hydroxide, boys. It is a basic compound and also alkali in nature. Alkaline, that is water soluble basis, boys. So all these are strong alkali in nature. Strong alkali in nature. Therefore, these hydroxides, metal oxides, can form respect to hydroxides, which are alkali in nature. That is why these oxides have basic in nature. So these oxides have basic in nature. So therefore, the basic nature from top to bottom increases. The basic nature of these oxides from top to bottom increases. Therefore, see here, observe the condition, that is see here, boys, that is beryllium oxide, BeO, amphoteric in nature. Beryllium oxide has amphoteric in nature and it reacts with both acids and bases. Next, magnesium oxide is weak basic in nature. Other oxides, that is magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium oxides, these are strong basic in nature. See here, basic nature of these oxides from top to bottom increases. Yes, it is amphoteric. So magnesium oxide is weak basic. Remaining oxides are highly basic, strong basic in nature. So how to explain the amphoteric nature of beryllium oxide? So amphoteric nature means it has both acidic and basic nature. So that means amphoteric means it has both acidic and basic nature. So that means if it has acidic nature, it reacts with base. If it has basic nature, it reacts with acids. So that is why, see here, when beryllium oxide reacts with HCl like acids, it is acid, boys. So that gives beryllium chloride plus H2O is the product. Beryllium chloride and H2O is the product. See here, it is a salt and water, it is acid. Therefore, beryllium oxide here acts as base in this reaction. Next, when beryllium oxide reacts with NaOH, no doubt NaOH is a base, that gives Na2BeO2 plus H2, hydrogen gas. Na2BeO2 plus, see here, 2 times, Na2BeO2 plus H2. So that means it is sodium berylate. This is called as sodium berylate, boys. It is a salt. So because it reacts with base, this one acts as acid. Therefore, beryllium oxide acts as both base as well as acid. Therefore, it has amphoteric nature. Yes, not water. So hydrogen gas is liberated already. So the same reaction is repeated in your NaH properties. Please check your equation. Okay. Okay. So this is sodium berylate boys, hydrogen gas is liberated. So therefore beryllium oxide has both amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric in nature. Okay, next one, lattice energy of oxides of second-A metals is much more higher than the top, is greater than the top. Lattice energy of oxides of 1A metals. Lattice energy. That is why these oxides have, because lattice energy is very, very high. So because of this lattice energy high condition, these metal oxides have high melting and boiling points. And because of this reason, these have high melting points and chemical inertness, almost non-reactive tendency, that is called as chemical inertness. So the chemical inertness also possible, boys. So chemical inertness. Next, uses is there. So uses is, these are good conductors of heat. And so very, very good conductors of heat. Because of this reason, because heat is easy to transmit, because of this reason, these oxides used in refractory materials. What is that refractory materials? So those are the materials which are used in the construction of furnaces. Furnace means for boiling purpose, for heating purpose. So that means there is a good conductors of heat is used that. So that is why. So particularly magnesium oxides and calcium oxides are used in refractory materials. Refractory materials, nothing but for the construction of, furnaces. And for the construction of furnaces, refractory materials are used. Why, sir? Because these are good conductors. These oxides are good conductors. That is why calcium oxide and magnesium oxide are used in refractory materials, boys. Refractory materials. So these oxides are soluble. Most of these, that is, so solubility increases from top to bottom. So next point. So metal oxides solubility increases from top to bottom, and that solubility is exothermic. That means heat energy released when they are soluble in water. Heat energy released when they are soluble in water. So these are the minimum points towards oxides we should memorize. So no doubt all these are memory points. Very, very important. Okay. Next one, peroxides. Peroxides. Next, that is fifth one, that is peroxides. Peroxide means our metal has +2, peroxide has O2 -2. Therefore, MO2 type compounds are formed. That is the general formula of peroxides. That is the general formula of peroxides, boys. Now, beryllium not form peroxide. Peroxide of beryllium is not formed because of its small size. because of its small size. So peroxide is not possible. So that means beryllium can form only monoxide. So it can form only monoxides. It is the anomalous property of beryllium, boys. It is the anomalous property of beryllium. So later we will discuss. Next, magnesium. Magnesium, it forms peroxide. It forms peroxide under special conditions. Under special conditions, magnesium can form peroxide. So next, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium easily form peroxides. So because the formation from top to bottom, the ease of formation of these peroxides from top to bottom increases. Therefore, the ease of formation of peroxides from top to bottom increases. The ease of formation of these peroxides from top to bottom increases. Very, very important. Now see here, how is this? That is beryllium oxide is there, or not beryllium, it is barium. When barium oxide is there, this barium oxide on heating with, on reaction with a further oxide, that gives barium peroxide is the product. So it is the way to prepare that barium peroxide. So it is very, very important, boys, and most stable. This barium peroxide, so what are the important applications are used? That is the chemical properties. So properties, that is, when this barium peroxide reacts with dilute H2SO4, that gives barium sulfate, and H2O2 is the product, boys. So this is the reaction used in H2O2 preparation, boys. When barium peroxide reacts with dilute H2SO4 gives H2O2, but so there is a problem is there. So because of that, hydrogen phosphorus, that is phosphoric acid is used instead of barium sulfuric acid. There is another reaction there. And barium peroxide through hydrated solution of barium peroxide, CO2 gas is passed, H2O2 is prepared. That means, so this is the most important source to prepare the hydrogen peroxide. So hydrogen peroxide is mostly prepared in laboratory from barium peroxide. Is very, very important. Next, and one more equation. When barium peroxide is equal, it is decomposed, that gives barium oxide and hydrogen oxygen gas. It is oxygen gas. So this equation is used for synthesis of O2 gas. This equation is used for the synthesis of O2 gas. Very, very, very important reaction, boys. This is called as Brin's process. For the synthesis of O2. It is the Brin's process for the synthesis of O2. So that means the oxygen gas is synthesized like this, boys. Oxygen gas is synthesized like this. Next, an important solubility of peroxides in water increases from top to bottom. Increases from top to bottom. So these are some minimum points you should remember. These are some minimum points you should remember, boys. This is from peroxides. Beryllium not form peroxides, but magnesium difficult to form. Next, remaining are easy. That means ease of formation from top to bottom increases. So this is about peroxides. It is about peroxides first. Superoxides are not formed from secondary group elements because superoxide is very, very big in size. That much size is not available here. So that's why superoxides are not possible. Only superoxides are possible from alkali metals. Only 1A group elements can form superoxides. 1A group elements can form only superoxides. Remaining metals, remaining group elements never form superoxides. This is about peroxides. Next. hydroxides. That is the sixth one. Hydroxides. Metal has +2, hydroxide has -1. That means MOH twice compounds are formed. It is the general formula for hydroxides for second A group elements. For second A group elements, it is the general formula. Okay. So preparation methods and except beryllium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide, others are prepared like the following. So except beryllium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide, that is metal oxide when dissolved in water, that gives metal hydroxide. When metal oxide dissolved in water, that gives metal hydroxide. It is a way to prepare other side, that is here M is equal to calcium, strontium and barium. M is equal to calcium, strontium and barium. So how to prepare barium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide? See here. So beryllium chloride when reacts with either NaOH or NaH4OH gives beryllium hydroxide plus NaCl is the product or NaH4Cl is the product. If NaOH is used, that is NaCl. If NaH4OH is used, NaH4Cl is the product, but beryllium hydroxide is the final compound. Beryllium hydroxide. That means compounds of beryllium is heated with either NaOH or ammonium hydroxide. That gives beryllium hydroxide. Similarly, magnesium chloride when reacts with either NaOH or ammonium hydroxide, that gives magnesium hydroxide plus similarly NaCl or NaH4Cl is the product. NaCl or NH4Cl, boys. Boys, the formed magnesium hydroxide insoluble in water. That is insoluble in water. Here also, beryllium hydroxide insoluble in water. Very, very important. So beryllium hydroxide is insoluble in water, and also magnesium hydroxide also insoluble in water, boys. So these are the general preparation methods. Now, what happened in the solubility conditions? So solubility, so beryllium hydroxide insoluble, magnesium hydroxide insoluble. But the solubility from these hydroxide for these hydroxides from top to bottom increases. Why is the solubility is completely depending on hydration energy and lattice energy. Okay, if hydration energy is more, those are soluble. Lattice energy is more, those are not soluble. Hydration energy is applicable in solutions. Lattice energy is applicable in solid state. In solid state, lattice energy. In solution state, hydration energy. If hydration energy greater than lattice energy, those chemicals are soluble. So whenever a chemical is soluble, their hydration energy greater than lattice energy. Whenever a chemical is insoluble, lattice energy greater than hydration energy. So no reason additionally there. Okay, so that's why the solubility of these hydrides from top to bottom increases. Yes, only these reactions, boys. Let us observe some more points. Some more concepts based on these hydroxides. See here. Very, very important. Solubility of these hydroxides from top to bottom increases. The solubility of these hydroxides from top to bottom increases. Very, very, very important. So that means order. So number of times asked, boys, that is BeOH twice less than MgOH twice less than CaOH twice less than SrOH twice less than BaOH twice. So this is the order of solubility of hydroxides in water. So order of solubility of these hydroxides in water, no doubt, no doubt. Here beryllium hydroxide, here lattice energy is greater than hydration energy. Here hydration energy greater than lattice energy. Hydration energy greater than lattice energy. Okay, because of this reason, so these are less soluble. Next, see boys, it is very, very important. Calcium hydroxide. Generally, we call this calcium hydroxide as lime water. So common name for calcium hydroxide is lime water. Similarly, barium hydroxide, its common name is baryta water. So barium hydroxide is commonly called as baryta water. Please keep in mind important points. Okay. Next, basic nature. Basic nature of these hydroxides. These hydroxides from top to bottom increases. Basic nature of these hydroxides from top to bottom increases, boys. Very, very important. Okay. So therefore, beryllium hydroxide, it has amphoteric nature. Beryllium hydroxide has amphoteric nature. Least basic BaOH twice. Beryllium hydroxides, Be. Beryllium hydroxide has amphoteric nature. That means it reacts with both acid and base. That means it may be dissolved in. It dissolved in both acid as well as base. So see here, when beryllium hydroxide dissolved in HCl, that gives acid-base reaction takes place. That gives beryllium chloride plus H2O is the product. Beryllium chloride and H2O is the product. Next, when beryllium hydroxide, when dissolved in NaOH like bases, that gives Na2BeO2, sodium berylate plus H2O is the product. H2O is the product. Sodium berylate and H2O is the product. So that means, so it is dissolved in acid and it is also dissolved in base. So therefore, this is dissolved in both acid and base. Beryllium hydroxide dissolved in both acid and base and form respective compounds. And form respective compound. If excess of acid and excess of base are added, that is important, boys. In excess of acid or base is used, the following reactions. So what is that? This formed. See here, beryllium hydroxide, first of all dissolved in water. So that gives BeOH twice and H2O twice. A complex compound is formed. That formed compound, BeOH twice, H2O twice, reacts with acid. Excess of acid, that gives, these hydrogens are supplied to this. So 2 HCl, boys, that gives BeH2O 4 times, Cl2 is the product. BeH2O 4 times Cl2. Boys, it is ionic compound. It splits like BeOH 4 times plus 2 ion and 2 Cl minus ions. BeOH 4 times plus 2 and 2 Cl minus. That means in excess of acid, our beryllium is in cation. In excess of acid, so beryllium form a complex, that complex ion where that beryllium ion exists. So here beryllium is in cation, boys. So is in cation in excess of HCl. If base is excess, see here, beryllium OH twice, H2O twice. If this reacts with NaOH, that gives Na2BeOH 4 times. Na2BeOH 4 times is the product, boys. So that means if it is dissociates, if it is no doubt it is ionic, that gives 2 Na plus ions and BeOH 4 times minus 2 ion. Here beryllium is in anion. Here beryllium is in anion. In excess of HCl, beryllium is available in cation. In excess of NaOH, if excess of NaOH, beryllium is available in anion. These are very, very, very important points, boys. This beryllium hydroxide that has structure like this: BeOH, OH, BeOH, OH. Like this, the chain is continue, boys. Polymeric chain, right? So like this, 2 minus ion is formed. The chain length depends upon concentration of NaOH. The chain length depends on concentration of NaOH. So it is very, very, very important, boys. These are the important points towards your hydroxides, particularly solubility important. Solubility of these hydroxides from top to bottom increases. So that solubility order and this cation anion conditions are important, boys. This cation and anion. Now halides, next compound. Seventh compound, seventh compound, that is halides. Our metal has +2 oxygen state, halogen has -1. Therefore, MX2 type halides is formed. That is the general formula for our halides. General formula for halides is MX2 for second year group elements. Now, what is the preparation of these halides? What is the preparation of these halides? See here. So we have metal oxides, we have metal hydroxides, we have metal carbonates, we have direct metals. Any one of these are used to prepare this metal halides. If any one of these reacts with hydrogen halogen compounds and hydrohalous acids, HCl, HBr, HF, like that. Hydrohalous acids gives, if metal oxide and HX is used, that is MX2 plus H2O is the productant. If hydroxide is used here also, MX2 plus H2O is the productant. If carbonate is used, MX2 plus H2O plus CO2 is the productant. Carbonate, from carbonate CO2 gas is released. Twice, this CO2 gas, colorless gas. A colorless gas is evolved, so that puts off the burning splinters. That is that puts off the faith. What is that? Fire. That puts off the fire. So that is very, very important gas, boys. So quick effervescence, colorless gas is released. Next, if metal with HX is involved, that is MX2 plus hydrogen is the evolved gas. Hydrogen gas is evolved, boys. In this way, metal oxide, that is halogen compounds, are formed. Anywhere metal halides are the production. So whatever it may be the used. So respect to halogen compounds are the production. So respect to halogen compounds are the products. Now, what are the properties of these halogen compounds? We have beryllium. Beryllium fluoride is there. Beryllium chloride, beryllium bromide, beryllium iodide. This beryllium fluoride is, so that is mostly covalent. Somewhat ionic nature also there, but mostly covalent boys. But other halides of beryllium are covalent. So metal chloride, that is very important. Beryllium fluoride is mostly covalent and somewhat ionic is there, but other halides of beryllium are covalent. Our other halides of beryllium are covalent. Next, magnesium. Magnesium fluoride, it is mostly ionic. It is mostly ionic, but all others are covalent. But all others are covalent. Not only this, remaining all compounds wise. Remaining all compounds are covalent. So next, see here. From top to bottom. So see here, it is mostly covalent. It is mostly ionic. So if you down the group, ionic nature of these fluorides increases. Therefore, from top to bottom, ionic nature increases. From top to bottom, ionic nature of these halides increases, but mostly covalent in nature. Ionic nature increases. Next one. Almost all these halides, boys, these compounds are extracted in water. See here. Very important points, boys. That is, these halides are crystallized. Crystallizes means solidifies it from their aqueous solutions. Solidifies from their aqueous solutions. Crystallized from their aqueous solutions. So hydrated compounds are formed. So that means our halogen compounds mostly hydrated compounds. See here what observe, that is beryllium, BeCl2, 2H2O is formed. Magnesium, MgCl2, 6H2O formed. Calcium, CaCl2, 6H2O is the product. Next, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, chloride, 6H2O is the product. Next, barium chloride, so 2H2O is the product. 2H2O. That means all these compounds are extracted. These are crystallized and it solidifies in their aqueous solution. From their aqueous solutions, some of the water molecules are absorbed, are available in crystal sand. So that is called as water of crystallization. Water of crystallization. So which is called as water of crystallization. Okay. So see here, very next. So beryllium chloride, because of small condition only. Because of small condition, see why it is 4, not 2. Because of small conditions, coordination number is 4. Therefore, 4 water molecules are there. So except this, so see here, 6, 6, 6, and but it is 2. That means, this means extent of hydration, degree of hydration from top to bottom decreases because increase in size. Because of increase in size, extent of hydration, I'm explaining only for chlorides, remaining not remaining. I'm explaining only for chlorides, that is ionization from ionic nature from top to bottom increases. Okay, but not for others. Okay, magnesium chloride, 6H2O, 6H2O, but it is 2H2O. Therefore, the degree of hydrolysis from top to bottom decreases because of increase in the size. Yeah, increase in the size of metal atom. As the size increases, hydration decreases. As hydration decreases, extent of hydration also decreases, boys. Extent of hydration also decreases. It is very, very, very important. It is very, very important. This water, the water which is present in lattice, is generally called as lattice water, boys. The water which is in crystalline form, the water which is in crystalline form is called as lattice water. So generally the water is called as lattice water. Frequently we are using. So please wait. I'm also using that water. Okay. Now see here. If these hydrates are strong heating, they lost water. See here. So not beryllium, not magnesium, other side. CaCl2 6H2O is on heating gives CaCl2 plus 6H2O. All the 6 water molecules are coming out and gives anhydrous salted. Strontium chloride with 6 water molecules on strong heating gives, so SrCl2 plus 6 water molecules, it is also anhydration. Next, barium chloride with 2 water molecules gives on strong heating, barium chloride plus 2 water molecules are coming out. All these salts, boys, these are anhydrous salts. That means hydrated salts on heating gives anhydrous salts. So similarly, I'm trying here. Boys, for magnesium. MgCl2 6H2O, I am trying to heat. So that gives MgCl2 plus 6H2O. This reaction not happened. Similar to this reaction is not happened. So what happened, sir? Why? That is very, very, very important bitwise. So that means the presence of how to remove all these water molecules from the MgCl2 to get hydrated salt. If directly the salt is heated, all the available 6 water molecules are not coming out. What happened? See here. When MgCl2 6H2O first heated, only 4 water molecules are coming out. That means MgCl2 2H2O plus 4 water molecules. Boys, very, very important. Only 4 water molecules are coming out. So 2 water molecules retained. 2 water molecules are retained, which is called as lattice water. So still lattice water is there. But here all are coming out. So that is a special case in case of where there is magnesium chloride in it. So now how to remove those 2 water molecules? See here. If you still heat it, that is that magnesium chloride 2H2O that formed, still heated. So the water of crystallization, lattice water is there. This water reacts with, MgCl2 and form respective hydroxide, boys. Respective hydroxide plus HCl. Respective hydroxide plus HCl. It is first hydroxide is formed. What is our target? To prepare MgCl2. But here MgOH. Why this is formed? Because that water of lattice water reacts with that MgCl2. That means hydrolysis takes place. Reacts means hydrolysis takes place with this lattice water. Hydrolysis of MgCl2 takes place. Because of that, magnesium hydroxide is coming out. So now, if that magnesium hydroxide further strong heating, that gives magnesium oxide and water. So therefore, what we have to finally observe, magnesium oxide, not magnesium chloride. Our target to get magnesium chloride. But if magnesium chloride hexahydrate is on strong heating, finally we got magnesium oxide, not magnesium chloride. But we want magnesium chloride. That means the side reaction, that means this hydrolysis reaction, we want to stop that hydrolysis reaction. So what is the byproduct here? HCl. So if the reverse reaction takes in place, If reverse reaction I am trying to take place, that means so that hydrolysis reaction not takes place. If hydrolysis not takes place, the remaining water molecules coming out. For that purpose, in the presence of dry HCl is used. That means, see here, MgCl2 6H2O in the presence of dry HCl on heating. In the presence of dry HCl on heating, that gives MgCl2 6H2O. It is anhydrous solvent. So to get anhydrous MgCl2, we must follow the heating thermal condition only in the presence of dry HCl, in the current of dry HCl, in the presence of dry HCl, because the dry HCl applies backward reaction as per your Le-Chatelier principle. Backward reaction takes place. That means hydrolysis reaction going to be stopped. That the remaining water is going out. So that's why we will get anhydrous condition. That means anhydrous MgCl2 is coming out from MgCl2 6H2O only in the presence of dry HCl. This is a very, very important voice. In the presence of dry HCl only MgCl2 anhydrous condition is possible. Anhydrous MgCl2 is possible. Very, very, very important. The formed water is also evaporated voice. So gaseous water is coming out, evaporated. So this is the way. So how to get anhydrous salts from this point? How to get? If no HCl is used, the final product is Mg1. If HCl is there, the final product is MgCl2. MgCl2. Okay. Next, how to get? Yes. How to get barium chloride? Anhydrous barium chloride. So it is also not possible. That's why side reaction, another type of reaction is taking place, boys. That is, so how to get? That is 2BeO, beryllium oxide, reacts with CCl4, that gives 2BeCl2 anhydrous plus CO2. So this is the way you get anhydrous BeCl2, so not from hydrated salt. It is the way to, it is the easiest way to get that anhydrous beryllium chloride. So this is the way to get anhydrous beryllium chloride. Now, what is the structure of this anhydrous beryllium chloride? It is very, very, very important. Structure wise, see here. Now, structure of anhydrous BeCl2. Structure of anhydrous BeCl2. Boys, first one, in solid state, anhydrous BeCl2 has polymeric structure. In solid state, anhydrous BeCl2 has polymeric structure. See here, how to that? So see, boys, it is beryllium chloride. It is beryllium chloride. Like this, number of BeCl2 are there. Beryllium chloride. Every chlorine has 3 lone pairs of electrons. Every chlorine has 3 lone pairs of electrons. Every halogen has 3 lone pairs. See here. So this chlorine donates this lone pair to this one and form a coordinate covalent bond. At the same time, this lone pair is donated to this beryllium and form a coordinate covalent. See here, arrow bonds both are in opposite direction. Here also, this lone pair to this one, this lone pair to this one, this lone pair to this one, this lone pair to this one. So this lone pair to that one, this lone pair to this one. Here also, this lone pair to that one, that lone pair to this one. It is the way a polymeric chain structure is possible. So a polymeric chain structure is possible. So it is a polymeric structure in solid state. In solid state, particularly anhydrous BeCl2 has a polymeric structure. See boys, here. So beryllium, chlorine, beryllium bond. Beryllium, chlorine, beryllium bond. Boys, it has pair of electrons. It has also pair of electrons. 2 plus 2, 4 electrons, but 3 centers are covered. It is 3-centered 4 electron bond. Not 3-centered 2 electron bond. Here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons are participated. Therefore, 3-centered 4 electron bond is there. So all these bonds are 3-centered 4 electron bonds. All these are 3-centered 4 electron bonds. Very, very, very important. Beryllium chloride in solid state contains 3-centered 4 electron bonds. Next, in these structures, beryllium always form 4 bonds. Nah? So this beryllium is in sp3 hybridization. In solid state, beryllium is in sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. So 4 bonds are possible. Next, here a bond, an angle is there, that is BeCl Be bonds, and here also angle is there, boys, that is Cl BeCl bonds. So the angle of BeCl Be is always greater than that of angle of Cl BeCl. That is, angle at chlorine is always greater than that of angle at beryllium. Angle at chlorine always greater than that of angle at beryllium. Very, very important. Here it is a 3-centered 4 electron bond. It is in sp3 hybridization. So it is the bond angle. No need of memorize the bond angles twice. So, but here bond angle is greater than that of here. Okay. Next. So that is, this chain is elongated in a horizontal way. Elongation is possible. So the chain is elongated in horizontal way. It is in solid state, boys. In solid state, anhydrous BeCl2, beryllium is in sp3 hybridization. Now, in vapor state, next, in vapor state, anhydrous vapor state, BeCl2 has dimeric structure at ordinary temperature. At ordinary temperature, at normal temperature, anhydrous BeCl2 has dimeric. 2 molecules are arranged. See here, beryllium, chlorine, BeCl2. Beryllium, chlorine. Okay, so this one donates to this one, this one donates to this one. So it is a dimeric structure. Dimeric structure. So it is in vapor phase. In vapor phase. Here beryllium is in sp2 hybridization, boys. Here beryllium is in sp2 hybridization. Vapor state dimeric structure of beryllium anhydrous BeCl2. Beryllium is in sp2 hybridization. 3 bonds are possible. sp2 hybridization. So next, at high temperature, that is, at high temperature, anhydrous BeCl2 has monomeric structure. Single molecule is, that is why So it is BeCl2 structure. Linear structure. Linear structure. Here beryllium is in sp hybridization. Here beryllium is in sp hybridization. So this is the way how beryllium, anhydrous beryllium chloride has different structure. In solid state, polymeric structure, sp3 hybridization, 3 centered 4 electron bonds are there. In vapor state, 2 structures are at normal temperature it exists as dimer, but at high temperature, so the structure is going to break and converts into a linear structure. There beryllium is in sp hybridization. There beryllium is in sp hybridization. Very, very, very important. And hybridizations and shapes of the structures are also very, very important. Polymeric structure, dimeric structure, sp2, and linear structure, spn. Linear. It is all about anhydrous BeCl2. Yes, everyone is non-planar. Beryllium remaining RR. So that is polymeric structure is particularly non-planar structure. So that is 4 centered 3 electron. Sorry, 3 centered 4 electron. 3 centered 4 electron. Non-planar, boys, no doubt. Now some of the conditions, boys. That is when beryllium fluoride, very, very, very important. When beryllium fluoride reacts with another fluoride, that is just like NaF, that gives Na2BeF4 is formed. Na2BeF4. It is ionic compound, boys. It breaks down into 2 Na plus BeF4 minus ion is formed. That means here beryllium is in anion. In this reaction, beryllium exists in anion. Anion, that is BeF4 minus. What is the structure of this BeF4 minus? That BeF4, this is beryllium, fluorine. So this is a fluorine with minus. It is a fluorine with minus and gives 2 coordinate covalent bonds. This is BeF4 minus structure, boys. Yes, minus 2, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. Yes. Thank you. Minus 1, minus 1. This is BeF2 structure. So there, beryllium is the central atom. So exists in anion, negative ion. Beryllium exists in negative ionic state. Okay. Next, beryllium fluoride. Beryllium fluoride is highly soluble in water. Beryllium fluoride is highly soluble in water. Because of reason, hydration energy greater than lattice energy. But other fluorides are insoluble. But other fluorides are insoluble, boys. Okay. See what is the order of different fluorides, solubilities, and ionic nature. So now I am writing some orders, boys. All those orders you should by heart. No doubt, based on that, at least 2 to 3 bits coming out in your mains exam and also in advanced exam. Very, very, very important points I am trying to write. So please try to by heart. Try to by heart. So, okay, see here. That is ionic character. Ionic character of halides. Ionic character of halides. See here, this is the order, boys. BeX2. BeX2, that is less than MgX2, less than CaX2, less than beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, SrX2, less than BaX2. This is ionic nature, boys. This is the order of ionic nature. Next, if same metal is there, iodides have less ionic nature. It is less than bromides, less than chlorides less than fluorides. So this is the ionic nature order, boys. It is the ionic nature order of halides, all halides. X is halogen elements. X is halogen element. Next, solubility order. Solubility order. So see here, very, very important. Beryllium fluoride. I am trying to explain first of all fluorides. Beryllium fluoride is more soluble than magnesium fluoride, which is more soluble than calcium fluoride, which is less than strontium fluoride, which is less than barium fluoride. Please keep in mind. So please keep in mind. So this is the deviation, boys. This is the deviation. So this is about solubility of fluorides. Solubility of fluorides. Now, if other than fluorine remaining halogens are here, Be X2 greater than, Mgx2 greater than, CaX2 greater than, SrX2 greater than, and BaX2. Here X is equal to chlorine, bromine or iodine. Not fluorine. Here X is equal to chlorine, Cl, Br or In. Next, Mf2 same for same metal fluorides less than MCl2 less than MBr2 less than Mi2. So this is the order, boys. Based on this board, these board orders, in this board orders, at least 2 bits will come in. At least 2 bits. Try to by heart each and every condition. So wherever more solubility, hydration energy greater than lattice energy. Wherever less is lattice energy greater than hydration energy. Lattice energy greater than hydration energy. No doubt, it is totally memory based concept. Please try to by heart. Please try to by heart. These are the observed facts. These are all observed facts. Okay. Next one. So ionic nature is explained on the basis of, that is, what is that? Poisson's rules. Solubility is according to lattice energy and hydration energy. Solubility is according to lattice energy and hydration energy, and ionic nature is based on Poisson's rules. Ionic nature is based on Poisson's rules. Next one, next type of compounds, that is oxosalts. That means oxygen containing salts. That is carbonates, bicarbonates, sulfates, nitrates. So today we are discussing about first one, carbonates. What is its general formula? MCO3. And bicarbonates, which are also called as hydrogen carbonates. So their general formula MHCO3 twice. So this is about carbonates and bicarbonates, boys. So see here what happens. Boys, all bicarbonates having general formula MCO3 and bicarbonates MHCO3 twice. MHCO3 twice. Next, all these are available in all carbonates. These carbonates are available in nature as in the earth crust or something else. So these are available, all these are. Next, preparation methods. When calcium hydroxide, through the calcium hydroxide, is lime water, boys. That is, if CO2 gas is passed, that gives CaCO3 plus H2O is the product. CaCO3 plus H2O. It is the way to prepare these carbonates. So that means respect to hydroxide, CO2 is passed. That is respect to carbonate is the product. If excess of CO2 is passed, limited amount is carbonate. If excess of CO2 is passed, see here, if excess of CO2 is passed. That is what happened, that formed CaCO3 reacts with that excess of CO2 in solution, that gives respective bicarbonate is the product. That means the carbonates are converted into bicarbonates. All these bicarbonates, not only this one, all these bicarbonates only exist in solution stage, just like in lithium bicarbonate. Other bicarbonates of that alkali metals are solid state, but lithium bicarbonate is only exists in liquid stage. Similarly, here all bicarbonates, very, very important boys. Here, all bicarbonates are exist only in solution stage, not in solid stage. Not in solid stage. All bicarbonates are soluble in water. All these bicarbonates are soluble in water and exist only in solution state, not in solid stage. Bicarbonates of second year group elements are not exist in solid stage, only exist in solution state and only exist in solution stage. Okay, next. Now, so what about carbonates? See here. So towards our carbonates, see boys, మా ఎప్పుడన్నా మనం బుర్రా కేవ్స్ చూసారా? బుర్రా కేవ్స్, ఆ బుర్రా కేవ్స్ కన్నా మనం జాగ్రత్తగా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే ఆ పైన ఉండండి రూఫ్స్ నుండి కొన్ని సాలిడ్స్ రౌండెడ్ గా సో నీడిల్ షేప్డ్ క్రిందకి వస్తూ ఉంటాయండి. బికాస్ all the Borra Caves area is Borra Caves area, that is why, okay, that is limestone area, that is CaCO3 area. So that water contains bicarbonates. Bicarbonates are soluble in water. Bicarbonates are soluble in water. Slowly those bicarbonates on heating because of temperature conditions, those bicarbonates are converted into carbonates. Carbonates are something less soluble. That means soluble bicarbonates, they are converted into carbonates. So those carbonates, it takes a lot of time. That's why, so that needle shaped crystals, drop by drop. So those crystals are automatically generated. It is a natural phenomenon. Their bicarbonates are converted into solids. That is carbonates, boys. So it is the roof. So slowly like this, it is possible, boys. Ila roof నుండి కనుక మనకు వస్తున్నట్లయితే, that concept is called as STALACCITES, stalactites. So that is the concept, boys. So caves lo ala ravatam. For example, if it is surface, boys, so moving upward direction, ila ganaka move avutunnatlaite, so that is a downward, roof to down. It is the surface to up. ఇలా కనుక జరుగుతుంటే stalagmites, that is stalactites and stalagmites. So both are possible in so both are. So it is natural phenomenon, drop by drop, moving up. So slowly becomes as a stone, that is carbonates. Okay, so these two are possible at the time of that is particularly, that is the limestone areas. Limestone is nothing but CaCO3. So soluble bicarbonates are converted into insoluble carbonates. So like these are possible. So downward, roof to down is stalactites and surface to up, that is stalagmites. Both are observed, boys. These are nothing but carbonates and bicarbonates. And carbonates and bicarbonates. Next, all carbonates are ionic. All carbonates are ionic. Next, the thermal stability of carbonates from top to bottom increases. Very, very, very important point, boys. The thermal stability of these carbonates from top to bottom increases. So therefore, thermal stability order BeCO3 less stable than magnesium carbonate less than CaCO3 less than strontium carbonate less than barium carbonate. Barium carbonate thermal stability. It is totally based on, no doubt, lattice energy, hydration. Okay, so no doubt it is the least stable, boys. It is least stable. So that's why this BeCO3 itself decomposed to beryllium oxide and CO2 gas. BeCO3 itself break down into BeO and CO2. To stabilize this one, backward reaction should take place. So if you stop this forward reaction, we should only take backward reaction according to our Le-Chatelier principle. So that is why, see, BeCO3 is stored in CO2 gas. So because if BeCO3 is dissolved or decomposed, CO2 gas is possible. If already CO2 is there, backward reaction takes place. That means its stability is increased. So because of this reason, beryllium carbonate is stored in CO2. Very, very, very important points, boys. Beryllium carbonate is stored in CO2. Okay, next. Solubility. Solubility decreases down the group. Solubility decreases down the group. That means BeCO3 is more soluble than MgCO3 greater than CaCO3 greater than SrCO3 greater than BaCO3. Solubility order. It is the solubility order, boys. It is the solubility order. Okay. So note points. If bicarbonate, that is calcium bicarbonate is there. If bicarbonate is heated, that breakdown into converts into respect to carbonate by the evolution of CO2 gas. By the evolution of CO2. So that means the bicarbonates are converted into carbonates. Carbonates in excess of carbon dioxide gives bicarbonates. Both reactions are possible. Both these reactions are possible. So all bicarbonates are soluble in water. All bicarbonates are soluble in water. So these are the minimum points required about your bicarbonates and carbonates. Bicarbonates and carbonates. Next, and for today's last topic, that is sulfates. That is the second, that is B. Sulfates. Formula MSO4, M plus 2, SO4 minus 2. MSO4 is the general formula, boys. MSO4 is the general formula. Now, what is the preparation of these sulfates? So, see here, when metal or metal oxides or metal hydroxides or metal carbonates, whatever it may be. So, when reacts with dilute H2SO4, that gives corresponding sulfate is the productant. So, that is MSO4 plus H2 is the product. Next, MSO4 plus H2O is the productant. Next, here also MSO4 plus H2O is the productant. Next, MSO4 plus CO2 plus H2O is the productant. CO2 plus H2O. So these are all sulfates, guys. So this is the way to prepare sulfates. So this is the way to prepare sulfate, guys. So all these sulfates, thermal stability top to bottom. See here, first point. So solubility in water, decreases down the group. So solubility in water decreases down the group. That means, so beryllium sulfate is more soluble than magnesium sulfate, more soluble than calcium sulfate, which is more soluble than strontium sulfate, which is more soluble than barium sulfate. So here lattice energy is much more higher than that of hydration energy. Lattice energy much more higher than that of hydration energy. It is completely insoluble, boys. Completely insoluble. Barium sulfate solubility is completely, and that means that gives a precipitate. That gives a precipitate whenever the chemicals to form barium sulfate. So barium sulfate exists as a precipitate, which is almost not soluble, 100% not soluble. Next, very important points, boys. Carbonate sulfate, so solubility, thermal stability are very important. Next, thermal stability, reverse end. Thermal stability. Thermal stability increases down the group because more lattice energy increases down the group. Therefore, BeSO4 less than MgSO4 less than thermal stability, CaSO4 less than SrSO4 less than BaSO4 and SrSO4 less than BaSO4. So these 2 points are very important towards your objective side, boys. Objective side. So solubility decreases, thermal stability increases. Boys, hydroxides, halides, carbonates, bicarbonates, sulfates. So these thermal stability, these solubility, this ionic nature, please try to write at one place and by heart them. These are all very important. At least 3 to 4 bits from these points will come in your exam. At least 3 to 4 bits minimum. Next, sulfates are also decomposed on heating, boys. See here. That is, sulfates also decompose on heating end. How, sir? See here, let us take when metal sulfate on heating decomposes to metal oxides, sulfur dioxide, and O2 gas is evolved. On thermal decomposition, so that is 2 times 2MO, 2SO2, O2 is the product, boys. Whenever any sulfate on thermal decomposition gives respect to oxide and sulfur dioxide and O2. See here what happened. What is the mechanism involved here? That is, first of all, this metal sulfate is ionizes into M+2 and SO4 minus 2. SO4 minus 2. It is a sulfate end. This formed sulfate is decomposed to SO2 gas and half O2 gas and O minus 2 ion. This formed O minus 2, this formed M+2 ions. This M+2 ion and O minus 2 ion combination gives MO. Therefore, the final product MO, SO2 and O2 are the final products, guys. So that is why, so MO, SO2 and O2 are the products. So during thermal decomposition, sulfates gives metal oxides, sulfur dioxide and oxygen gas. Metal oxides, sulfur dioxide and oxygen gas. And one more point, that is, when metal sulfate reacts with carbon, that is coke powder, that gives respect to metal sulfide ending. plus CO2 gas is coming out. CO2 gas is coming out. See here, I am writing 2, it is 2 CO2. So metal sulfide is the productant. Metal sulfide is sulfur is in +6 oxygen state. Here sulfur is in -2 oxygen state. Reduction takes place. It is a reducing agent. This carbon acts as a reducing agent, boys. Okay. So these are some concepts about sulfates. Sulfates. Boys, I forgot 2 points. So please see here. So in case of halides, see here. So note points. Please write down these note points. Note points. In halides, note pointer, CaCl20 is used as dehydrating agent and drying agent. So dehydrating agent and also drying agent. CaCl2, anhydrous. Anhydrous CaCl2 is used as the drying agent. That means to dry the surface, to dry the environment. So drying agent and dehydrating agent means absorbs water because it is highly deliquescent. Deliquescent. That means what is the meaning of deliquescent? It absorbs water vapor from the environment continuously. So that means it always absorbs water. So that's why it is used for drying agent and also as a dehydrating agent. It is very, very important. Next, when alkali metal is placed in a container, vacuum is created. That means to create any vacuum space for the reaction, sometimes we want to create vacuum. And to create this vacuum, these alkali metals are used because alkali metals reacts with oxygen and nitrogen from air. So alkali metal reacts with oxygen and nitrogen from air and gives respective oxides and respective nitrites. Those are the preceded out automatically. So that vacuum, air is nothing but almost 99.99%. Put out this one and this two. That means almost vacuum is created. So that is why so alkali metals are used generally to create vacuum conditions. Okay. So this is used as a drying agent. Alkaline earth metal. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, boys. Alkaline earth, not alkali metals. Alkaline earth metals. And thank you. Okay. So these are very, very, very important points, boys. Tomorrow we will discuss some more compounds. Okay. Maybe tomorrow is the last topic for alkaline earth metals. Maybe tomorrow is the closing day. Okay. Very short chapter, boys. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Anal.